Welcome back to another live and amplified indie fusion podcast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we're back at it again with another amazing podcast. We are smack dab in the middle of our pancreatic cancer fundraiser, and we have our next guest joining us, old friend Nia Nicholls. How's it going?
Hey, yeah, it's all going good. Thank you. Thanks for having me as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about this a little bit offline. It's so weird because we just released your In a Jam episode, but that's also been recorded about a month ago. So it's like, it's interesting. So
Yeah, I know. You just can't get rid of me. That's it. That's the issue.
what you see, the thing is we went a year without doing a podcast,
Yeah.
and then it's just like, nope, we've got to keep this going. So
Yeah, definitely. And it's always nice to chat as well. I feel like we get
yeah.
to have a little catch up, which is always good.
Oh yeah, for sure. So how's everything going in the UK?
It's been going really well, thank you. It's been quite busy since I came back from the States. So I've been playing more gigs. I'm playing more in different areas now, actually, which is exactly what I wanted. So I'm playing more in Bristol over the next month, and I'm playing in Brighton soon as well. I'm opening up for another American artist, actually,
Nice.
named Scott Clay. So that's going to be really fun. And also, I've just been pushing my latest single, Goldilocks. It's just all about promoting and posting online. So yeah, I've been pushing that one, and it's been going well. So yeah, it's been good.
Nice. I've been watching, you just had a pretty big show this past weekend, right?
Yeah, I was in London.
Yeah.
I was invited to perform at Dingwalls in Camden. It's
Mhm.
quite a well-known venue, and it's one of the places in Camden that, as an artist, you want to perform. And
Mhm.
they have about two or three, I think three or four layers to the building, and they just have gigs in every single part. It's so funny. So I was playing in the back part of Dingwalls, and it was really nice. It was kind of like a listening room style, and it was all about original music, which is always really nice to do, especially in London. And yeah, it went down well. I got to see a few people who came out to hear me play. And it was so cool because there's this guy called Kaz, and he really supports my music, and he's
Mhm.
really supportive of indie music in general. And he came out, and after my set, he he took something out of his bag, and I didn't know what it was. It was like in a box. And I thought, what is that? I thought he might want me to sign it, but I thought I
Mhm.
couldn't figure out what it was that was in this box. And then he comes over and he hands it to me, and it's a Freightliner model that
Mhm.
has been, I guess, not. I don't know if he constructed it, but he's been sort of muddying it up to look really like realistic.
Mhm.
And he had painted my lyrics of one of my songs on this model, and he was like, "Can you sign this?" And I thought that is the coolest thing ever because I didn't expect it. And I couldn't
Right.
figure out what it was at first. And when he like showed it to me, I thought, what? So that was really nice. And so yeah, it was a really good weekend.
Nice. I saw that pop up on your Instagram, and so as soon as you started describing the box, I was like, "Yep, I think I know where this one's
Yep.
going." So it it looked like a really cool like model of a train, so that's cool that he had you sign it.
I know. Well, every time I see him, he always, well, I say always, most of the time he always gets me to sign something that's like cool and unusual. Like
Yeah.
I think the last time he had a cowboy hat, and he's like, "Can you sign this cowboy hat?" And he had all these other names on it as well. And that was really cool. So yeah, it was just very different and really nice. And it's always really sweet when you see that people make that kind of an effort for you and for
Mhm.
your songs. So yeah, very, very cool.
Nice, nice. So did you see all your photos starting to pop up from Interjam? Did they send you
Yes.
that folder link?
No, actually. Oh no, I
Okay.
haven't seen that. I've been
Okay.
looking out for it though, because I've been seeing the photos coming up on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I definitely have to. I don't think I've had an email, but I'll have another look.
Okay. If not, there's a few photos of you that popped up in, like, because they had so many photographers and whatnot taking photos or whatnot. So
They were on it with that. Yeah. Oh
uh,
my God. I hate seeing photos of myself. Oh, I hope they look good.
right. There's one of you and me talking to Dustin, and I just look like super awkward because it's like it's really focused in on like you and him having a conversation or whatever it was going on, and I'm just happened to kind of be there, and it was like, but like my left arm is on my hip or something, and it just like I look really awkward, and it's like, oh,
That's
okay,
fun.
well that's my photo, I guess. I don't know. So
No, it's always the way, isn't it? I've seen that photo, and I don't even remember anyone taking that. I don't
yeah,
remember a person standing there. So they're very, they're like ninjas, you know?
right. Hey, that's what a good photographer is at this point. Is you just got to be a
Mhm.
ninja. So.
Yeah, get the candid photos.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you'd mentioned that you've been very busy since In a Jam, and like obviously promoting Goldilocks, which we talked about last time. Because yeah, I think it had just released, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it had been out for 2 weeks at that point.
Yeah. How's the songwriting going? Are you currently working on anything, or where are you kind of at there?
Yeah, so when I was in the States, I went to Nashville, obviously, before I came over to Texas, and I did record a song out in Nashville. I probably mentioned that on the podcast we did. So I've got that ready to go, and I have been writing a lot, and I have some plans to record more music over the next few months or so. I just want to keep the momentum going, because
Yeah.
Goldilocks had such a good reaction, which was really, really nice, and I want to keep that going as long as I can. And speaking of songwriting, I was recently nominated for Best Songwriter in Dorset. So, you
I
know,
did see that.
yes, I know. I was so excited when I saw it. And it was by the Original Music Awards, and I actually won their Best Solo Artist award this year. So I definitely didn't expect to be nominated for anything again. So I really appreciated that they did that. And it means a lot, especially for songwriting, because it's my favorite thing to do.
Mhm.
So yeah, I got that to look forward to. I got the award show in January. So yeah,
Nice.
got to dress up, got to find a pretty dress now.
Nice. That's cool. That's in I'm guessing that's in Dorset as well.
It is, yeah. It takes place in Poole, which is
Mm.
about half an hour from me. And they usually do it at the Lighthouse, which is a really cool venue. And it's a place I really want to perform actually, because they do a lot of independent sort of gigs and as
Mhm.
well as the bigger gigs. I actually saw the Carole King musical uh,
Mhm.
at the Lighthouse, and they have all these different stages. So it's a really cool place for the award show to take place. So yeah, when you get nominated, you definitely want to go and sit in the Lighthouse. So yeah.
Right. Nice. That's cool. Well, congratulations on being nominated. That's always exciting. The one thing that I learned back when I was in high school, first starting to do like filmmaking and stuff like that, is any award you win, it doesn't matter if it's musician of the week for the Southern UK top, like some like no matter what it is, it's an award and you need to hang your hat on that. So
Oh, for sure. And I also think just getting the nomination is good enough,
Mhm.
'cause the fact that people considered you for it. And there was only three of us in the category, Ben Poor and Carly Barley.
Mhm.
I don't think I might have met Ben at one point, but I know Carly Varley pretty well, and she's awesome. And her type of music is so different to mine. She's more punk, rock, pop,
Mm.
and kind of like Paramore. She's got that vibe. So it was really cool that it was narrowed down to the three of us, and we're all quite different. And the fact that it was us three, and there are so
Yeah.
many amazing artists in Dorset. We're inundated with amazing artists. So just to get nominated is an honor.
Right. Absolutely. I love the way you look at that. I love that. Oh, and so obviously coming out of Inner Jam, it was really cool to get to see you perform and be officially on the bill and not just doing an open mic. That was really cool to get to see you to play. And it seems like you like really just kind of ingratiated the entire experience and just kind of enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And honestly, I owe all of that to you as well, because I wouldn't have known or heard
Mm.
about Jam if it weren't for you.
Mm.
So thank you for that. And yeah, Dustin's so nice and
Yeah.
really humble. And I think that's so important to have the festival organizers be that way. Sometimes they can be a little all over the place, or they don't really talk to the artist. But Dustin's so nice. So to
Mhm.
be involved was just really fun. And I really enjoyed it, and
Mhm.
get to watch the other artists play. God, they're so good. You
Yeah.
guys have so many amazing musicians. So yeah, it was really fun. And also just to be in that setting on the river as well.
Mhm.
Oh man, what a nice setup for a festival. So
Oh
cool.
yeah, for sure. I hope it comes back next year. Like there's some. I'm sure you saw the Facebook post or the Instagram post or whatever, but hopefully he's able to kind of get a team in place that's able to help him, so it's not a year-round thing for him. And I've offered my help in any way I can, and so yeah, it's.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so too. I mean, it takes a lot to
Mhm.
organize even just a gig for
Yeah.
one, I mean, my mum, she organized a show for this artist, Sally Barker. She was
Mhm.
in The Voice UK, and she was on The Voice, I think, in 2014. But my mum decided to set up this show for her in our village hall because we have a really nice hall here.
Mhm.
And it doesn't get used as much as it should do. So she put on the show, but yeah, I saw firsthand. Obviously, being an artist, I know what it's like anyway to put on a
Mhm.
show, but seeing my mum work it and promote it, and that was for one night,
Mhm.
takes so much, and you panic about, are you going to sell tickets, and are you going to sell enough, and yeah, and so I totally understand Dustin's point of view of
Yeah.
he it takes a village.
Oh yeah, it really does. It really does. Oh, and so then what's kind of the thought process looking into 2025? Because obviously this year is almost over. Like we got what, like 6 weeks or whatever. So
Oh, it's gone so fast. Yeah, so for the new year, obviously I have the awards show in January, so I'm looking forward to that. I definitely just want to continue playing more gigs around places I don't
mm,
normally do. I'm signed up to play Songfest next August, and that's with Dean Friedman. So
mhm,
obviously I've been opening up for Dino on a few of his UK tour dates this past year.
mhm,
And he's very kindly invited me back, so I'm very excited for that one. Um, I'm going to Australia in February
mhm.
for a few weeks, and I'm hoping to also gig out there because
Yes.
I know a few radio stations out there, and I've been in touch with them over probably since COVID, actually.
Mm,
So I want to see if I can link up with them, and that would be really fun and really cool to say that I got to play in Australia. Um,
nice.
Aside from that, continue to release new music and try and play more gigs and stretch myself and take myself out of my comfort zone. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
Nice. I'm glad you locked in the Australia trip because I know when we talked at In a Jam, you were talking about maybe doing Australia. I don't think you had quite made that decision, but the fact that you've kind of locked it in now, it's like that's cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew I definitely had to go out
Mm.
because my brother's there at the moment, and he's there for a year. So I think he
Oh
comes
well.
back in May. And I just thought, well, he's there. I can't pass up on this opportunity to go out and obviously see him because I think this is the longest I've ever gone without seeing my brother.
Hmm.
And also I have a place to stay, so I'll make the most of it. So my
Nice.
best friend, she's got family over there, and she wanted to come as well. And it was basically done on a whim. I won't lie to you. Like we both knew we wanted to go to Australia, and it was one weekend. I just said, I think we should book our tickets now because it's not cheap flying to Australia.
Right.
And we just decided there and then, okay, let's do it. So we transferred each other on our bank accounts, and we did it there and then. So it was done on a whim. I mean, it was a planned whim, but
Yeah.
we didn't expect to do it on this one weekend. And also she lives 2 hours away from me. So this was all done through like Instagram DM.
Yeah.
So,
That's
girl can do anything. What can I say?
right. That's really cool. And hopefully you do get a chance to play because they've got a really cool thing going on. Like where in Australia are you
So
going?
we're starting off in Melbourne, and
Okay.
then we're flying down to, sorry, not flying down, we're going down to Sydney, and then we're heading down to Brisbane, and that's where my brother is based.
Yeah.
And he actually works at a place that hosts live music, so I've twisted his arm and I've said, get me in. So yeah, I at least have one thing hopefully booked. And
Nice.
then I'm gonna try and sort out some radio stations as well, because I think it'd just be really, really cool to tick that off, you know.
Hmm. Nice. That's really cool. It Melbourne to Sydney is going to be a little bit of a drive, but you know what? That's all right. So,
I think, yeah, we might either be taking the train down,
mhm.
because my best friend Meg, she's gone to Australia before, and she's done the train thing. So I'm sort of relying on her with that because she
Yeah,
knows what she's doing. So I think we might catch the train down. Or I did say, we can just rent a car and I can drive, so it's not a big deal.
you're right, right, right. It's one of those things where it's like, how how comfortable are you? How do you really want to experience this trip? And you know,
Yeah, for sure. And I think, especially when you have someone else with you, it does take the pressure off. So yeah, even if we do rent a car, like it'll be fine. Because I mean, I've driven
Mhm.
in America. I feel as though I can probably do Australia. So yeah, we'll see what happens on that. But yeah, it'll just be fun to have a road trip. We'll just be yapping the whole way. So
Nice, cool. That's what's up. I dig it. And then have you been doing anything outside of music? I know you. It seems like you've been traveling quite a bit, even coming back from the States. Like you've been.
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think what I've been up to really. I mean, this past year has been really fun. I wanted to see more things
Mhm,
because, when you're gigging, if you're gigging somewhere that's far away, yeah, you try and make the most of it when you're
mhm,
like in a new place, but you don't always get to see the place. So I just thought, even if I'm not performing in an area, I just want to go. So I've managed to go to Paris. I went to Paris with my mom earlier this
mhm,
year, which was amazing. I loved it so much. I went to Dublin with my friend Meg, and
mhm.
Dublin is so much fun, especially in terms of music. It's amazing. So I so recommend that to you, Tom. You would
Okay.
love. And where else have I been? I just spent a lot of time in London, but when I have
Yeah.
been in London, I've been performing. Um, and same in Bristol. My best friend lives there, so I go there a
Mhm.
lot. And same in Cardiff. So yeah, I've sort of been traveling all over the place just because I love these places, and I feel like I never get to spend as
Yeah.
much as I want to there. And hopefully I can go more up north in the new year as well.
For sure, for sure. How's the radio show been going? I've seen you like really pushing that one over the last month or so since you came back from the States.
Yeah, it's been going well. It's been good. Yeah, I host a show on Radio Oddstock every week, Wednesday, 7 to 8 p.m. Obviously UK time. And the gist of the show is just stories behind the songs.
Mhm.
So if anyone has any interesting stories about any song, it doesn't have to be anything that's like insanely popular. The song doesn't have to be a number one. It can just be
Mm.
something you really like. I always appreciate those stories. And yeah, it's been going well. I've had some listeners in from Germany and Chicago and
Mm.
also Texas actually, and France.
Nice.
So it's been going really well, and I enjoy it. I really love the radio, so it's been fun.
Nice. I know how demanding it is to get a weekly show out. And I actually, one of the videos I saw you and I'm guessing it was Meg that was.
Oh, Lucy, because I do a second show with my friend Lucy. Yeah.
Okay. I saw an Instagram post where you guys were like 12 seconds away or whatever from showtime and your chair wasn't right or something. And
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I was like, if that doesn't describe live production to a T, I don't know
Mhm.
what does. So,
Yeah, I do a second show with Lucy. We call it the Fangirl Hour, which is, commercial music. So it's all
mhm,
pop music and it's our favorite stuff like Sabrina Carpenter or
yeah,
Taylor Swift, whatever. And yeah, and Lucy, she is so on it with social media and she's so good at it. And she's 21. And so I'm only like a couple years older than her. But I said yesterday to someone, she keeps me young because she makes me do all these TikTok dances. And
that's
I've
funny.
never done a TikTok dance in my life, and I am so uncoordinated. Um, but she believes in me, so I have to believe in myself. And it's always, yeah, such a laugh doing a show with her. And yeah, we had that video where my chair was really low down, and it was kind of broken, and the camera angle wasn't right, and it was like 15 seconds before we were meant to go on air,
Yeah.
and it was just pure chaos. And then we started, and it was calm-ish.
Yep. That's usually how it goes, where it's like it's pure chaos right up until that light turns red or green or whatever color it is, and it's like, okay, time to go. Let's do
Yeah,
this. So I get it.
it's yeah.
Um, but yeah, I do really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat with us for the pancreatic cancer fundraiser. As you know, it's something very we do every year. We've had you on. Actually, I think you're the only musician at this point that we've had on every year.
Okay,
I,
we'll keep
I
that going.
right. I'm running it through my head right now because I think a few people that we had on the previous 3 years they weren't able to do this year. So trying to
Oh,
run it through my head really quick. But yeah, I think as of now you're the only musician that's done it every year. So
nice, nice. And I think it's such a good thing what you're doing with the fundraiser. Obviously, I know it's personal to you, and because it's personal to you, it's obviously personal to me as well because I know you. And also, my best friend, she's had her dealings with pancreatic cancer in her family as well, so I know it means a lot to her to see this as well.
yeah.
So I'll always do it for
Yeah.
however long you want to, do the fundraiser. I'll be there.
We'll keep it going. We will keep it going as long as I can physically keep doing it, you know. So, but I really appreciate you. If anybody wants to check out your music, shows, socials, all that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you?
I use Instagram, Facebook. I do use TikTok, but I'm not as good at that. And obviously, my music is on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, wherever you stream it. Basically, I should be on it. Also on YouTube. But the best place to find out about my shows and upcoming releases would be Instagram or Facebook. And it's just Nia Nicholls.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll be back here in a bit with our next guest.